Hello fellow muscle monkeys, Shreyas Bharadwaj, top1%.fit, and in today's video I'm going to give you my picks for the absolute best exercise for each and every muscle group. And this is something that's very practical so that you can apply it to your workout routine and get the best possible results. So let's get started with this video, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you get all the notifications on time. And do visit my website top1%.fit if you want online coaching with respect to your training and your diet and you want to reach your full potential. With that said, let's get started without any further ado right away. I've talked about the importance of these 6 main movement patterns that you need to progressively overload and get strong in if you want to build muscle. But the issue is there's hundreds if not even thousands of exercises within each movement pattern. And in today's video, we're taking a detailed dive and breaking down it into different muscle groups and which is probably the best exercise per muscle group. Oh, and hold on. Before you take a look at each and every exercise for the respective muscle groups, there's one thing you need to keep in mind. There is no one absolute best exercise. We are all different human beings. We have different genetics. We have different likes and dislikes. We have different bone structures. And one exercise might feel great to me and it might not feel that good to you. That being said, there are good exercises, there are bad exercises, and there are great exercises. And all the exercises that I'm talking about today are hands down great exercises. You will benefit from doing this exercise or a similar variation of these exercises. You get the point, right? We are all different and we need to improvise and adapt to what works for us. And that is only going to come with experience. You actually need to do the work. However, I'm simplifying the process for you by giving you a good baseline on where to begin. So yeah, here's the best exercises for each and every single muscle group. Here you go. Let's start off with everyone's favorite muscle group, the chest. So I like using the incline dumbbell bench press, and it works really well for me because it allows me to load heavy and progressively overload over time, and I like it more so than the barbell variation because the dumbbells allow you to move more freely and it just feels a little bit better on the shoulders, and you also can get a good stretch while doing it. You can also do the barbell variation or a machine variation if you have to, but the main thing is to progressively overload and get stronger. That's all that matters. This is a compound exercise that allows you to effectively overload the front of your shoulders, your chest, specifically upper chest when you're doing the incline variation, and also your triceps, which is great for upper body size and strength. Now let's move on to the upper back, which comprises of a combination of many tiny muscle groups, that is the back of your shoulder, your infraspinatus, teres minor and major, your rhomboids, your trapezius muscle, and all of those muscles which can be worked really well by using this exercise, which is called the seal row. I really love it because it keeps your spine in a neutral and stable position and you can just simply focus on lifting the weight. Next, let's move on to latissimus dorsi, which is also known as lats by the gym bros. And this brings us to pull-ups, which is in my opinion the best body weight exercise there is, and also my favorite exercise to target your lats. It allows you to load a lot of weight, it allows you to train heavy and effective. So any exercise that allows you to do that in a safe manner, it's going to get you big, it's going to help you build muscle. So there's no question, pull-ups is the king of training your lats. Next up, we're going to train those round shoulders. If you want your upper body to look big and impressive in pictures and in real life, and also to be strong, you have to train your shoulders properly. And in my opinion, the best exercise to do that for me is seated dumbbell overhead press. You can also use a barbell variation or the standing variation, but in my opinion, I just find the seated variation to be more comfortable. Next up, let's move on to trapezius, which is commonly called as traps in the gym world, and I invented this exercise which is called dip bar shrugs. Actually, I haven't seen anybody else do this and I came up with it myself, that's why I'm calling it my invention. So this exercise, it works similar to a barbell shrug or a dumbbell shrug. I just like this exercise because it allows me to deload my spine and at the same time overload this muscle group. And I can also load fairly heavy doing this particular exercise. As you can see, I'm wearing a belt which has a chain that allows me to load as many plates as I want onto it, which allows me to load heavy, and it works really well with exercises such as pull-ups and dips. I talk about that belt accessory and also the ab rollout, which is my pick for the best ab exercise in a recent video that I made, so definitely check it out after you watch this video. And now coming back to the ab rollout. This is one of the best exercises not only to build your abs and to strengthen it, also to improve your core stability and teach you how to breathe and brace properly, which in my opinion makes it an absolute must-do exercise. That being said, the only way to get your abs to be visible is by losing fat. and that is done by being in a calorie deficit and eating right and doing enough cardio. That's a topic for another video. Maybe check out this video if you want to learn more about that. And now moving on to triceps, which makes up for 2/3 of your arm. So if you want big arms, training your triceps is even more important than training your biceps. Most people are focused on training their biceps because that's what they see in the mirror, and those peaks, it looks impressive. But for size, you definitely need to train your triceps, and also to be healthy and to be functional. That brings me to this exercise combination, which is dumbbell skull crushers in combination with dumbbell close grip bench press. This can also be done using an easy bar barbell, which makes it really comfortable to do this exercise. I didn't have that equipment at the time of shooting this video, but now that is definitely what I would use. We talked about triceps, now let's move on to biceps. And in my opinion, the best exercise to target your biceps would be a barbell bicep curl. And even better yet if you use an easy bar, which is more easier on your wrists. In general, for all bicep and tricep exercises using a barbell, I would like to use an easy bar because it is less strenuous on your wrist, which means you can then load up even more weight on it. And if you can load up more weight and gradually build up to handling that weight properly, that means you'll get stronger and also build muscle. That's the key here, gentlemen. And now moving on to hamstrings. I definitely love using the Romanian deadlift. It's probably my favorite lower body movement in general. Earlier when I was training at the gym, I would go and use the hamstring curl machine, which is also a good option, but that definitely does not allow you to load as much weight as this particular exercise does. And it feels really great on the hamstring, you feel a great stretch, and it overloads the muscles the way it should be. And that is why this is going to be my number one pick. And now my number one pick to train the quadriceps is going to be Bulgarian split squats. You can also use other exercises such as barbell back squats or leg press or front squats, goblet squats. There's so many good variations, but I like this because it is important to train your body unilaterally, and this particular exercise feels good on my spine and it also allows me to load fairly heavy, which is important. And now let's talk about the best exercise for glutes. A lot of men think it's not macho, it's too girly to train your glutes. To them I say, shut the fuck up and get under the barbell and do your hip thrusts. That's right, there's no nice way to say it. Your glutes are incredibly important. They are the powerhouse of your lower body. Not only will it give you that half moon Captain America booty, but also you need strong glutes to build your upper body to its full potential, because a lot of upper body movements like your overhead press require your glutes to fire up and perform properly. So it's pretty important. You can also do another variation, which is the barbell hip thrusts. And now moving on to calf muscles. That's right, I'm not even ignoring calves. You gotta train this as well if you want the complete physique. So I'm training at home right now and I don't have access to fancy machines or any sorts of advanced equipments, let's say. So I'm doing a simple single leg calf raise on top of a platform such that my heel can dip below parallel and I can feel a good stretch while I'm doing this movement. And I can use a dumbbell, hold it in one hand so that I can overload and get stronger at this moment as well. And that being said, the seated calf raise machine or the standing calf raise on a Smith machine, or also the leg press machine, you can do calf raises on that. There's a lot of good options. All you need to focus on is to progressively overload and get stronger. That's a common factor for each and everything over here. If you do that, you will build bigger muscles, guaranteed. So you saw all of these exercises. Yes, they are great exercises and it works amazingly well for me. But is it something that might work for you? The only way to know is actually to give it a shot and see how it works. And if it feels a little bit uncomfortable, you might want to try a different variation within the same movement pattern. These exercises are compound exercises that can be loaded heavily in a safe and effective manner. That's what's important here. Focus on getting strong and improve on these key lifts, these main movements. Understand what are the main exercises that you want to focus on for each and every muscle group. Those would be your main exercises that you should be following. And once you do that, it's only a matter of time. Be consistent and progress on these exercises. And the result is absolutely just a matter of time. I promise you that. If you find the main movements that work for you and get strong at it and progress on it in a safe and effective manner, I guarantee you that you will see a lot of gains, both in terms of strength and in terms of gaining muscle. And that was today's video, guys. Follow this advice and I guarantee you 100% you're going to see the results. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, comment down below what other content you want me to cover in the future, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you get all the notifications on time, and Also, it will help my channel grow a lot, which I desperately need at this point, having made videos for over 2.5 years, and the growth of this channel has been really slow. But I've been patient, I've been consistent, and I never lose hope. I do the best that I can and leave the rest to fate, right? And you guys are fate. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and share this video to your friends. And until next time, take care, stay hungry.